The reality is that success is never accidental. It's built daily through decisions that most people ignore. And so today, we are gone. Go over 7 things that only rich people do that poor people completely ignore. We've all been in a place where we're broke or struggling. And the biggest thing that I talked about in that video was that rich people work for freedom. While poor people are sleeping, rich people are out there hustling. They're working on their side. They're trying to figure out ways to make more money. They're thinking about their business. When you ask any successful person how they became successful, they'll tell you that it was because they worked harder than the next person. They put in more hours than anybody else. And that's true. Success is not built overnight. It takes years of hard work and dedication to be successful. They know exactly what they want to achieve, and they break it down into smaller goals that they can work on every single day. They talk about other people behind their backs. They spread rumors. They love to drama. Successful people, on the other hand, they don't have time for that nonsense. They focus on building relationships with other people. They surround themselves with winners and they stay away from drama. They visualize their future and then they work backward from there. Most poor people have one source of income, which is their job. They get paid a fixed amount of money every 2 weeks or every month, and that's their income. If they want to make more money, they have to work more hours or find a higher paid job. And if you did, please make sure to leave me a like down below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. This is one of the most important things that you can do if you want to be successful. They receive cash flow from different sources, like dividends from stocks, interest from bonds, royalties from their books or their music, licensing their products, affiliate commissions, rental income, and the list goes on and on. Focus on building things, not buying things. Invest your money. Make your money work for you. And always be looking for ways to generate more income. Don't rely on just your job. Create multiple streams of income for yourself. You have to understand that the main difference between rich people and poor people is that rich people are always looking for ways to generate more income. They don't rely on just one source of income. They have multiple streams of income coming in at all times. And that's how they build their wealth. Poor people tend to spend their money on things that make them feel good in the moment, like fast cars, designer clothes, and vacations. They buy things instead of building things. They don't invest their money. They just blow it on random stuff. You have to plan your life out. You have to have a clear vision of where you want to be. They use it to build things. They don't buy things. They invest their money. They make their money work for them. For example, instead of buying a new car, a rich person might invest that money in stocks or real estate. Instead of blowing money on vacations, a rich person might use that money to start a business. You have to understand that rich people don't get wealthier by spending more money. They get wealthier by making their money work for them. If you want to be rich, you have to start thinking like a rich person. Stop buying things and start building things. Invest your money. Make your money work for you. And then you need to create a roadmap of how you're going to get there. Don't just wing it. Plan your life out and then stick to the plan no matter what. If you want to be rich, you have to understand that the reason why rich people wake up early, the difference between rich people and poor people is that poor people quit when they get tired. So choose your friends wisely. If you want to be successful, you need to surround yourself with people who are going to help you grow. People who have the same goals and values as you do. Stay away from negative people who are always complaining and gossiping. Instead, try to build relationships with positive people who are always looking for ways to improve themselves. Books or TV? What do you see? What do rich people do? They read. What? Because knowledge is power, and the more you read, the smarter you become. And if you want to win the game, you have to play by the rules. Most people don't make a plan and then follow the plan. Instead, they just wing it and hope for the best. They live their lives on autopilot. They don't have a vision. They don't know where they're going. And because of that, they'll never get anywhere in life. One of the first things I did when I got my first paycheck was I went to the bookstore and I bought every book I could get my hands on. I remember going home and reading all those books, cover to cover. I would highlight them, take notes, and then I would reread them again and again until I understood everything that was in them. That's how I learned the skills that I needed to make my first $1 million. Rich people never quit. They keep pushing themselves even when they're re-exhausted because they know that the pain of working now is way better than the pain of regret later. And work hard is not to earn more money, but to buy more freedom and more time. Most people wake up when they have to, when their boss or their job tells them to. And the best way to change your mindset is to feed your mind with the right information. So if you want to be like the rich, start by reading more books. They don't wake up early because they want to. They're forced to because they need to make money to survive. But they're rich. They wake up when they want to because they don't really have to work. They already have systems set up that pay them every single day, regardless if they work or not. Now, of course, this isn't the case for all rich people. Some of them are working 24/7. But what I'm trying to say here is that generally speaking, rich people aren't working because they need to. They're working because they want to, because they see an opportunity, or they have a passion for something. In fact, I know I've been broke and struggled many times throughout my life, but there's a certain point when you start making money where you start doing different things, you have access to new opportunities, and you think differently about the world. And that's what we're talking about in this video. Now, before we get into the first point, I want to start off by saying this list is not meant to put down poor people or shame them. So let's jump straight into it with no one being asleep while others are awake. Think about it. One of the first videos I ever made was about why rich people don't work for money. No, going to bed while others are still hustling kind of goes hand in hand with waking up early. On top of that, I know people that work super hard during the day and then they go home and they work even harder at night. No. 3, reading while others are watching TV. Look around you. What do you see? If you want to be successful, you have to understand that the main difference between rich people and poor people is their mindset. Number 4, planning while others are wasting time. You have to understand that life is a game successful people. On the other hand, they plan everything out. No. 5, networking while others are gossiping. This is another big one. Poor people love to gossip. You have to understand that the people you surround yourself with will either lift you up or tear you down. Number 6, building while others are buying. There's a big difference between how rich people spend their money and how poor people spend their money. Rich people, on the other hand, they look at money as a tool. Number 7, cash flow versus paycheck. The last and final difference between rich people and poor people is that poor people get paid, but rich people receive cash flow. Rich people, on the other hand, they don't rely on just one source of income. They have multiple streams of income. Now, if you want to become rich, you have to start thinking like a rich person. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful.